Welcome to What is Crypto? I'm Matt and this is Crypto. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Kaspa, ticker signal KAS. It's been an absolutely crazy week in crypto, so if you want to hear my thoughts on Kaspa, the market, and a couple of updates on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, and the general market, well, stick around to the end of the video. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It helps get the word of Kaspa out there. So if you're bullish on Kaspa, do myself and yourself a favor, show some engagement, show some love. Now let's get into it. Alrighty, first up, as always, let's have a bit of a chat about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, as you can see, pretty crazy movement in the space of a week. We went from 96K all the way down to 78K, 20% move down, and then we went all the way back up from 76K to 95K, and we're now sitting at around 93K. So we've reversed almost all of that move. However, as I'm sure you're aware, at the time, people were calling for crazy low levels. When we broke down out of 90K, people were calling for 75K. When we broke down out of 80, 85K, people were calling for 65, 70K. Now, we didn't get there, obviously. We stopped at around 78K, and since then, massive reversal. So that is good to see for the market. Now, I wouldn't be FOMO longing anything yet, as it really wouldn't surprise me if we do get something along the lines of this. So some price action down to around that 90K level, or even down to as low as 86K. Sweep out a couple of lower levels, put in a higher low before continuing on up. Now, we do have some pretty bullish stuff in the market. If you're aware, March 7th, check it out. If you're not, pretty important date. Have a Google. Can't talk about it or YouTube will flag me for mentioning anything to do with politics. Anyway, so we did break down out of our range, but thankfully we have recovered. So why are we talking about Bitcoin? Well, the market follows Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes down, the market goes down. And when Bitcoin goes up, by and large, the market goes up as well. So we are back within a range for Bitcoin. We're coming up into a little bit of resistance now, but flip that, and then our range is going to be similar to before, which is chopping in between that 94K and 99K. Little bit of resistance here, so people will be looking to hedge short the market. And once again, as we come down to 90K, they'll be looking to hedge long the market. And especially if we come down to as low as 87, 88K, they'll be looking to long those levels. So yeah, really not too clear on what's happening at the moment with Bitcoin. It's never wise to buy immediately after a 20% massive rip up in Bitcoin, but I do think the market long term is going to be a lot higher. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin at the moment. Really, it's a bit of a wait and see approach. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more downside. I do think there is a good chance that these are the lows and these are in. And if we break down below them, then really that's quite concerning for me. So fingers crossed, these are the lows. Even if we go down again, anything over that 85K, I'm pretty happy with. Alrighty, that is Bitcoin. Now Ethereum. For an altcoin season, we really want to see Ethereum outperform. So with Ethereum, we are still putting in lower highs and lower lows. Now, I would like to see Ethereum break out of this downwards resistance. Once again, not too concerned if we hover around these levels. It'd be great if these were the lows. However, if we do sweep them, quickly reverse it before breaking to the upside. Once again, I'm pretty happy with that. We do want Ethereum to run, as when Ethereum starts running, historically, altcoins have started to go pretty parabolic. Usually kicks off altcoin season. The other thing to track, which usually is a good indicator of altcoin season, is Bitcoin dominance. If you're not familiar, this is Bitcoin dominance. When the chart is going down, and that means that altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. When the chart is going up, that means that Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins. So for an altcoin season, you want to see a sharp drop off in Bitcoin dominance. Now, these yellow vertical lines indicate the Bitcoin halvings, and historically we can see that 7 months after the Bitcoin halving, drop off in Bitcoin dominance, 8 months after the Bitcoin halving, drop off in Bitcoin dominance, and currently we are now just coming into the 10th month after the Bitcoin halving. So would be looking to see Bitcoin dominance break off fairly soon. Usually it goes up for 3 years roughly and then down for 1 year. So the drop off is significantly sharper than the slow climb up. Personally, I was thinking it would likely drop off in February, and it potentially has topped here in February. I was expecting a breakdown in February, but hopefully we see that in March. If not March, April, or there might have to be some reevaluation of where we are in the market. But still, at the moment, I'm sitting pretty comfortable and I don't see any reason to sell any of my coins. Doesn't make any sense at all to me. My investment is based off multiple different things. Bitcoin halving cycle is definitely one of the big ones. So Bitcoin's still looking bullish on the chart. Pretty happy with that. Ethereum hasn't broken up yet, isn't outperforming, and Bitcoin dominance hasn't broken down yet. So those three things indicate to me that there is still going to be a lot more upside in the market for altcoins. Alrighty, now let's get into Kaspa, why we're here today. So Kaspa, what are we doing? Well, Kaspa broke out of its range, unfortunately, so broke down below 10.3 cents. Now, not ideal. However, it's not really that surprising when Bitcoin had 20% drop over the space of a week. So I'd be quite surprised if Kaspa did not break out of its range lows, considering it was sitting at the bottom of its range. Now, since those lows, although it doesn't look like it on the chart, Kaspa did bounce up about 26%, and we're still sitting at about 16%. So it's bounced a somewhat similar amount to Bitcoin. Ideally for me, I would like to see these be the lows, but if the market does bleed again, well, look, we might go all the way down to 5.2 cents. Not concerned if that does happen. However, if that does happen, I'll be selling a lot of my other altcoins and buying Kaspa heavy. Buying Kaspa anything under 10 cents, I think, is going to be an absolute steal over the next few months. Buying Kaspa at 5 cents, crazy. Now, if I had have said buying Kaspa at 5 cents or even below 10 cents was going to be an option in 2025, mid last year, people would have called me mad. I probably also would have been one of those people as well. However, Kaspa is giving us some pretty insane entries currently. What are we watching for, Kaspa? Well, the levels that I'm looking out for is going to be a reclaim of this 10.4 cents. So coming up into 10.4 cents, expect a little bit of resistance. So I do want to see us reclaim that level first. Then next level for me is around that 12 cent mark. Then we have another level, 14.7 cents, 17.1 cents before going up into all-time highs. Now we do also have that last little bit of resistance at 18.8 cents. However, I think if we climb that ladder, and it won't look like that exactly, by the time we get up to these highs, I think Kaspa is going to blast through. Now, if you're thinking Kaspa hasn't done anything for a long period of time, yes, it has been ranging and it hasn't pumped, and it really has been doing not an enormous amount since mid-November. While a lot of people are down 80, 90, 95% on a lot of their different altcoins, even if you bought the Pico tops of Kaspa, you're down 60%, and very few people only had one purchase, and that purchase was up there. So a lot of people, if they've been buying this whole time, aren't down an enormous amount, but they might be bored and disenfranchised with Kaspa. I think that is a bit of a dangerous game to be playing with Kaspa. Nothing has changed in the slightest. We still have a team made up of people who've been in the space a hugely long time. Jonathan Sompolinsky, absolute genius, mentioned in Ethereum's white paper. You can't get much better than that. We still have the goal to be that peer-to-peer payment solution that Bitcoin set out to be, that digital silver. There hasn't been much negative news over this time period. Yeah, Kaspa hasn't got any massive spot listings on Binance or Coinbase, but we did get futures listings on Binance and Coinbase, so that is pretty huge to see. Kaspa is definitely one of the coins that I expect to pump strongly out of this market, and I think there will be a large flight to quality. That will be quality meme coins, quality layer ones, quality altcoins, anything that is quality. I think a lot of meme coins and altcoins alike are going to go to zero. And I think a lot of the money in the market is going to congregate in quality. I think Kaspa is quality, and I think a lot of money is going to congregate in Kaspa. So me personally, I'm purchasing more Kaspa at these levels. And it's one of the altcoins that I feel safe having a decent amount of my portfolio in. At the moment, buying Book of Ethereum pretty heavy. If you haven't watched it, watch my last video. So yeah, check it out. That's the meme coin I'm buying pretty heavy at the moment. But when it comes to altcoins, I don't really feel much more safe than having that money in Kaspa. I feel safer in Bitcoin, obviously, but Bitcoin is that safety net in the market. But Kaspa, I still think, is primed to have a pretty darn hot bull run. So yeah, for me, nothing has changed. Market's been crazy. Don't get shaken out by short-term price fluctuations. If the market's still bleeding in 3 or 4 months, yeah, we might have to reevaluate. However, at this present time, I don't think there's anything to get too concerned about. Kaspa, I think it's going to cook, and I think it's going to make people a pretty decent amount of money. Obviously, not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. This is just what I'm seeing. Would love to see Kaspa reclaim the level at 10.4 cents. Then that could be the deviation below that generational buying opportunity before we continue laddering on up. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me today, legends. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also join the Discord, 100% free to join. Scroll down, click the link, and I'll see you there. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one.